I found the notes somewhere because it said like, oh, reinvent the musical for now. And I was like walking around thinking, oh, maybe I should do that. I'm like, that's going to take a long time. Maybe I should do something really quick once in my life I can knock off. And that was, what if Shakespeare made a movie today?
Did you always have it in mind that you were going to use the original language, that you were going to keep, you know, very much to the kind of structure? You were never going to do one of those?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I started with a simple notion, which is, and I just sort of thought, oh, I always go through this torturous thing about like, the only selfish decision I make is what might make my life a creative adventure, because I hardly ever do films, and I just take as much time as it takes to completely live it and then make something. The next decision is what's worth putting out there. And I was actually thinking, I found the notes somewhere because it said like, oh, reinvent the musical for now. And I was like walking around thinking, oh, maybe I should do that. I'm like, that's going to take a long time. Maybe I should do something really quick once in my life I can knock off. And that was, what if Shakespeare made a movie today? And that's where I started. And that led to, you know, Verona and studying the fact that RP and language, that Americans kind of speak Old English, and then working with academics, and then going and living in Miami to develop the world, and then the kind of relentless search how we blah, 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 blah. It actually started with me going like, will I ever get a Romeo? And I saw a picture of this guy, and I thought, oh, he looks like a model or something, but gee, I wish he looked like that. And someone said, actually, he's just been nominated for an Oscar for Gilbert Grape. I'm like, that seems good, we should meet him, you know? And he was 19 at the time. And I got Leo, the way I got him and his dad, I talked to them about it, and they went, oh, that's different. They're very engaging, they're some of my closest friends, I adore them. And I said, look, don't decide, come down for a diving trip on the Great Barrier Reef, here's 2 business class tickets, and come on down, and then we'll workshop it, because that's how I work. We just workshop things. And Leo did come down, but he cashed in the business, this is so Leo, he cashed in the business class tickets and brought all of his friends bucket class. And so that was great, because when they came down, I put them all in the workshop footage, you know, I've got of it. And actually the workshop footage he's pretty amazing in that stuff. Anyway, that was the kind of workshop of Romeo and Juliet. And yeah, I started out with that notion. And to the extent, it was so funny, I mean, I will digress a bit, well, I'll try not to, but I mean, in the middle of, oh, it was mad, like, in the middle of, I had this great exec, and he goes on to be a great guy in television, but he was very young. And I come to him and I say, look, I know what I'm going to do next. It's going to be a modern dress, and I tell him about it. It's going to be as if Shakespeare was making a movie set in a heightened world, and it's going to be gangs and la 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 la, 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 and you know, but it's going to be the original language. And we're about to go in and pitch the story, right? And he goes, that is a great idea. Just one thing, don't mention the language. Okay, don't mention it's, you know, by William Shakespeare. So I had my kind of whole shtick worked out, which I went in and I went, okay, it's like gangs and, you know, Romeo scales the war, it's like Scarface, and he's going to get to Juliet, and the lights will come on, you know, and he's in the lights, and he goes, and I'm about to say, put software lights on the window, and he goes, when I go, oh, though, and then I'm thinking like, I'm so nervous, I'm so terrible at pitching, I go, the lights are on, right? And the head of his chair is looking at me going, yeah. And then I get and I go like, and come on down and see me, you know, right? This goes on for about an hour. And the president of the studio came in to see like what Baz had finally come up with, because I've been on a deal for about 5 years. And they're looking at me like this, leaning like I'm sort of a slightly deranged child, you know. And I go, oh my God, all right, look. It is the original language. It's William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, but set in a modern world. They went, oh, right. And I said, but there's so much music in it. What kind of music? I said, hits, lots of hits, you know. So I didn't have any music at that stage. Anyway, I had a video. I had this kind of workshop, and I put it on, and I played it, and we developed the look quite a bit. Anyway, I played the video and everything, and they went like, ah, yeah, I get it. Gangs. Gangs are good. Yeah, okay, $3 million, we'll do it for that, you know, whatever. But it was that thing of, actually, from that moment on, I learned that you have to absorb the story so much that my first act is to know it so thoroughly and feel it so thoroughly, I can tell, say, CM. And I bring my terrible scribbles and sketches and pictures, and I'll talk to her about it, and then we will talk to someone else about it, and then we collectively talk to another group, and so you share the story. But it's that thing, I think, of living it. My thing is I live the projects, I live the stories.